This is stupidly good. I haven't been that excited about any game I played for a long while now. It's that special kind of excitement like flying in VR for the first time, or the moment I got my first 3D accelerator graphics card back in the 90s. And the funny thing is, it all happened by accident. Pimax had sent me over the Crystal Lite for review in late July, and I thought about spicing things up a bit. You know, not always showing the same VR flight sim footage. So I searched for cool stuff to try out, and I found something. And then, this happened. The Mechwarrior 5 VR mod is made by a bunch of people who really know what they're doing, it seems. It's just glorious. They've not only made the game VR capable, no, on top of that, they've remodeled tons of cockpits to make them VR friendly. And contrary to some other VR mods, it's running rock solid. But one thing after another. Listening to the mech boot up sequence is cool enough.
Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
It's roughly been the same since Mechwarrior 2 in the 90s and brings back fond memories. But in VR, it's like a childhood dream come true. The effect of suddenly really sitting inside this giant war machine is comparable to the first time spawning in a Messerschmitt Bf 109 cockpit in IL-2 Sturmovik. It's a lot more impressive than you can imagine if you have never tried out VR, at least that's my experience. Then, after the first shock, you start looking around in awe and you notice that the HUD has moved to a bunch of screens all over your cockpit. Yes, the game gets harder now, since you don't have all the information you need always right in front of you, but who f***ing cares? I'm inside a goddamn warhammer, melting random people I got paid to shoot at with my double PPKs. Isn't that everyone's dream? How can it be? You have two crosshairs now. One for the torso weapons, one for the arms. You still control the torso with your mouse, but the arms now follow your gaze. Just look at something and you can shoot it. This lets you control the weapon systems independently, like raining fire with your long-range missiles over an enemy far away, while shooting nearby targets with your arm-mounted lasers. This cool feature doesn't come alone though. The first thing that comes with it is that you usually no longer need your torso twist indicator anymore. In VR, you intuitively know where your torso is oriented, since that's what you also do in real life. It's natural to just know where your body is facing, otherwise you wouldn't be able to walk in a straight line while looking sideways. The second side effect is increased concentration and focus requirements while playing the game. Being able to shoot at two things at once is cool, but requires significantly more brain power than in pancake mode to meaningfully and precisely do so. By the way, sometimes VR isn't available. That's where the Beam head and eye tracker comes to the rescue. They've made this video possible by sponsoring it. Beam is just 30 bucks, easy to install, and all you need is a webcam. I've reviewed it here on my channel and yes, it works that well. Link in the description. Now let's continue. There's more than just the cockpit remodeling. As we spoke of dreams earlier. You know, back in the days when we were dreaming of those glorious times in the far future where games would finally look like their pack shots or their intro sequences. Mechwarrior 2 was a prime example of this discrepancy. "30 years later, we've got everything we ever wanted, maybe even more. Well, except intelligent enemies or landsmates, but yeah, anyways. I had tried out Mechwarrior 5 Mercs a few years ago at release and I wasn't convinced. It all rather felt like driving a tank than controlling a mech, and it just felt empty and lifeless. I stopped following the game, updates happened though without me noticing, and today it's insanely better than the mere framework we got at release. Well, except the AI. Anyways, it's a lot better now, and VR adds the cherry on top, or rather the other way around. VR is the ice cream bucket that just slipped under the Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries cherry. I'm really excited, it's that good. The scale is conveyed so much better in VR. Stomping through buildings, looking down on cars and tanks, the sheer scale of your own mech. It's also quite scary seeing a gauss projectile impacting just a hair to the left of your cockpit. Motion sickness, by the way, isn't much of a problem. Since sitting in a chair is like sitting in a cockpit, right? My brain had absolutely no problem with piloting a mech in VR. Besides that, if you also lived under a rock like I did, you probably missed all the updates Mercs got over the years too. The first DLC, Heroes of the Inner Sphere, reworked the career mode, one of my biggest issues with the vanilla release. You can start at different locations now, there are cantina jobs you can take, the map got expanded, we got new biomes, new missions, ECM, streak SRMs, some new mechs, and a bunch of other things. DLC 2 added melee combat to the game, more mission variants, and did some polishing. It also added a new linear campaign, namely Legend of the Kestrel Lancers. The next DLC, Call to Arms, added melee weapons like axes and hatchets, more mechs and more biomes. DLC 4 added another linear campaign and rival mercenary groups also operating within the Inner Sphere. Following that, they added another 15-mission handcrafted Draconis campaign, more mechs, and another mini-campaign taking place on Solaris. I still haven't played at least half of the campaigns yet, so there's still a lot to do once I finish this video. Another DLC just released called Shadow of Kerensky, with another new campaign and the addition of pilotable Omni-mechs. So the career progression got deeper over time, close quarters combat evolved notably, battle scale and mission variety expanded vastly, and a ton of quality of life improvements were integrated. All I can say is, if you even slightly like mech combat, get this game along with all of the DLCs and play it in VR. Here's my guide. The game's not that hard to set up if you know what you're doing, and you will after you've watched the video. So go there, check it out. Thanks for watching, and see you in a second.